Henderson! What a head!
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of View from the Cop with me, Calden, and my buddy Reshlin.
What's up, guys?
Of course, today's episode is going to be all about the game LFC versus the Saints this weekend on Saturday. Just a pre-match talk on team news, lineups, and our predictions on the game. Alright, so not too much to talk about. Of course, coming back off the fantastic win against PSG, we thought we were going to see changes in the Spurs game last weekend. Of course, Klopp knows the team better than the two of us. So he knew the boys were fresh to play last weekend in the Premier League away from home, as well as against PSG at Anfield. So now, let's get into team news before we get into lineups. Resh, where are we with Liverpool and Southampton?
Well, Kels, like you said, not a lot of team news that we're going to look at in this episode. I mean, we have Dejan Lovren back in training. He's recovered from his stomach issues, so he's back in training. He could potentially feature in terms of being on the bench this weekend, so we might see Lovren back on the bench. And we might see Lallana back on the bench as well. He's also back in training. So as far as injuries goes, in terms of our current absentees, we should see those two back.
Alright, so just basically Lovren is the big one there, back in training and maybe on the bench for the game.
Southampton, well, as you know, the only issue they'll have is Danny Ings. Danny Ings has been massive for them.
Oh yes.
And he won't be able to face Liverpool, obviously, because of the term in his loan contract. So he can't face his parent club. He won't feature for the Saints, and that's a big plus for us.
All right, so not major team news for both teams, just the big one for Southampton there.
Yeah.
Liverpool, nothing really affecting them too much.
Nope.
All right, so lineups. Now, considering we have Chelsea in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday at Anfield, as well as Chelsea in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge, which is the big game I think everyone's waiting for now. Are we expecting now the changes against Southampton, or are we expecting them in the Carabao Cup? What are we expecting for this game mainly?
Yeah, I think Klopp will definitely ring the changes in next week's game, in the midweek game in the Carabao Cup. Yeah, so we can expect to see some rotations there. I think he'll want to keep the strongest squad available for next weekend's game.
Yeah.
At Stamford Bridge, obviously. It's going to be a massive clash, given that both teams will probably be first and second in the league at that point. So, big changes next weekend. So that means midweek, sorry. Yeah. So that means that obviously this weekend we should see the team that started on Tuesday, more or less.
All right, so let's go through the lineup then. So we're saying Alisson in goal, and the back four unchanged: Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, and Robertson.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be the defense. Let's skip the midfield and let's go to the front three, because the midfield is where we might get into a bit of a discussion. So we're expecting the same front three with the inclusion of Firmino this time ahead of Sturridge?
Yeah, definitely. I think Firmino will be back in. And he'll start obviously flanked by Mane and Salah.
All right, and there was some news about Salah over the course of midweek about his reaction to the winning goal and his form, and we don't know where this comes from, because it must be non-Liverpool fans.
Fans.
United or Everton or whoever it might be. But I mean, Salah's been in good form, just not scoring goals. I'd say.
It's just not putting in the back of the net.
Dribbling, creating chances. I think he's got the most dribbles or chances created in the Premier League.
Box, most shots as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And as for the reaction to the video, I have no clue where that comes from. I think Klopp has full faith in Salah, and we will see him on Saturday once again. Yeah. All right, midfield three for the game, and this is where it gets interesting, because lots of talk around Henderson and Keita and who gets to play in the sixth role, and sort of Milner and Wijnaldum have been almost undroppable so far this campaign. Yeah. But there's going to come a time where we're going to have to give rotation to the players. So who are we expecting to see this Saturday?
So I think Henderson's going to drop out again.
Interesting call.
Yeah, and I think Keita will definitely come in. I think against this game, against the Saints for this game, we'll need more creativity in the midfield, and that could come from Keita. So for me, Keita in, Hendo out.
And any opinion on Fabinho? He came on for a cameo against PSG.
It's interesting. He was on for all of like 3 seconds against PSG. So I would like Fabinho to start. I wouldn't. I mean, if you look at next week, the midweek game next week, Klopp can't really go and make 9 to 10 changes
against Chelsea.
Squad, right? So you want to blood some of the players in. It could potentially be a start for Fabinho. I mean, Milner and Wijnaldum, one of those two will need a rest at some point. So he could potentially go with maybe Wijnaldum and Milner dropping out in favour of Fabinho, I think.
All right. as you can see, we don't know who the best midfield three is, or how to rotate them best and who to play with who. Who suits who in the midfield. We do know we might require one extra creative player against Southampton in this game. Let's get into that discussion on how Southampton will approach Liverpool at Anfield. We know Liverpool are fantastic at home, pretty much home and away so far this campaign, but are we expecting to see Southampton playing an open kind of game, or are we expecting them to pack the midfield, pack the defense, play neat lines, try and get something on the counter on the break?
So Cal Marcus has been deploying his team in a 4-4-2 this season, and that's two banks of four that we're going to see at Anfield this weekend. So the midfield will be packed. I would imagine that one of their forwards, either Charlie Austin or Shane Long, will drop into the midfield to support the midfield. So it's pretty much going to be a 4-5-1, as Liverpool probably have most of the possession. So that midfield will be packed. And when it comes to the types of players that we would expect to see in their creating chances, I think Keita will probably be the best one. Keita's that type of midfielder that finds a lot of space, that drops into that space, can turn, can pick a pass, can create space, obviously.
Can dribble past a man as well.
So to negate that defensive solidity that comes with playing a back 4-4 in midfield, I think Keita will probably be the one.
Alright, so we're not expecting too much from Southampton, and hopefully we're right about this prediction. You know, we have a tough group of fixtures, and the last thing you want to do is go and blow 2 points or 3 points in a game at Anfield against a team who've only got 5 points in their opening 5 games. Yes, they've kept clean sheets away from home, I think it was.
Yeah, they kept a clean sheet at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, which is not easy, of course. So I think Liverpool won't struggle too much to score against Southampton. I don't think so. At least a goal or two. Alright, so in terms of how approach is going to go, Liverpool attacking, trying to find the spaces to unlock a tight defense and a packed midfield.
We're going to see that a lot this season.
Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to go, and that's the challenge to Liverpool and Klopp to break down those kinds of teams. All right, so in terms of score predictions, where do you feel this lies for Liverpool? Obviously, you're saying Liverpool to win it. How?
Well, definitely Liverpool to win it. And I'm going to go with a 2-0, Cal. Conservative, 2-0 for me. I don't think it's going to be easy for Liverpool. I mean, we've seen it thus far this season. Teams are going to come to Anfield, they're going to sit and they're going to defend, make it difficult for our attackers. But we'll pick the lock, and I think we'll get one in the first half, one in the second half, and a good 2-0 for me.
All right, so I'm gonna completely disagree with that one, and I'm gonna go for a Liverpool 4 or 5-0 victory. I think this is the game we stamp our authority on the upcoming fixtures, and we show Chelsea and Man City, listen, if you're gonna come up against us, we're gonna be attacking. We're gonna be a real frightful force. I also think this is gonna be the game Liverpool's attack starts to click into gear, and we find that chemistry of last season and the telepathy between the attacking players. So I'm gonna say 4 or 5-0 to Liverpool. Guys, let us know what you think. Specifically our midfield. Who do you think is the best midfield three, and how should Klopp play it in most games? And of course, what your score predictions are for the game. Are you expecting what I'm expecting, a smashing victory, a conservative victory, which what we've seen a lot this season, or do you think this might be the game Liverpool slip up? Hopefully you're not one of those fans. But yeah, that's pretty much where we leave it for this video. So you can join us for our post-match talk after the Saints game. And until that time, that's been A View from the Cop.